So this one is the BAPS board. It's pretty much just a big plastic board with lots of different attachment points. So you have at different points, so you have your anterolateral, anteromedial, posteromedial, posterior, and posterolateral points here. So and a central point that you can screw this into. If you wanted to use the left side, it's labeled here on the left, so you would screw it in on the other side so that your left foot would fit over the image there of your foot. So you can screw this in, and there are multiple sizes. So we have those here. So this is a level 3, but we have level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 3 is on here. Level 4 and level 5. And as you go up in level, the difficulty is harder. As the size of the piece goes up, the difficulty gets higher. So what the BAPS board is used for is a lot of balance, stability, strength, range of motion. You can use it all throughout the rehabilitation process. It's a very versatile device. You can use it from the first days where you're trying to build back range of motion, trying to stimulate collagen formation in the right lines and stuff like that. So you can use it non-weight bearing, partial weight bearing, and full weight bearing, depending on what point of the rehabilitation process you're in. So it's nice for that, and then to be able to use it both sides, so left here and right on the other side. You're just doing it in a non-weight bearing position. A few things about using the BAPS board. So it is all plastic, so it'd be a lot easier to use on a carpeted surface or a grippy surface rather than something like a tile flooring where it's going to slide around a lot. Then another thing is to make sure that you have shoes on so that you have grip on it and you're not sliding all around the board as you're trying to use it. So as a non-weight bearing athlete, Bradley would be using it in a seated position, and that'll take all the weight obviously off of his ankle. And a couple things that you can do with it, so you can, with your foot there, you can go into dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Just go back and forth, and you're going to tap the front and back of the board on the ground as you go there. Yep. And then another you can do, you can go side to side, so inversion, eversion, just tapping the sides of the board on the ground. Good. And then you could also go in a circle either way, so you could go counterclockwise, touching all edges of the board, and then opposite, turn around and go, yep, the other direction. Good. Cool. And then, so if you wanted to go partial weight bearing, what you could do, so we'll come over here so you can stand up. We'll have you go over here. And what you can do, here, I can just demonstrate this. So you'll have your foot on there or on the foot where it says to go, and then you balance here. You could either have one foot on the ground and do it this way and help to have it to help bear weight. So you could go here like this, or you could go up here and use your upper body to try and, can you even see the board, the whole thing? Yeah. Okay. And you can use your upper body to help support some of your weight. So doing the same exercises at partial weight bearing. And then to go full weight bearing, you would be in the same kind of position, except you're going to try to just use the table as a balance rather than to hold your weight. So again, same kind of exercises. Another advantage you have from using the BAPS board is, so with these parts here, you can actually take these. So if I wanted to add a little resistance posteriorly, I can screw this into the posterior screw here. Screw that in. And then add weight. So weights like this. And put that there. And then that would make it more difficult to go into, if you wanted to go into plantar flexion, you'd have more resistance, or if you're trying to go into dorsiflexion, then you would have less resistance, and the weight would aid in trying to go into dorsiflexion. So you can do that on any of the sides here in any of those other attachment points. All right. So this is an adapter here for the total gym and the BAPS board. So what this is a piece that goes into the total gym, which helps to determine percentage weight bearing. So if, say, you wanted to, if you're post-op and you can only be so much percentage weight bearing, the total gym is helpful in allowing you to determine exactly what percentage you are weight bearing. So using the BAPS board with a certain percentage. So this piece has 5 little holes here. So going from, let me see, from this is level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They correspond here with the holes. So what you're gonna do with this is, so you'll stick this in here in the middle, or in the hole there in the middle of the total gym floorboard, and line it up with whichever level you want, and then there's a pin that goes in here so that it'll stick at whatever percent, or at whatever level you want it to be. So right now it's at 1, that's 2, 3, 4, or sorry, 1 is here, 2, 3, 4, 5. As it gets further out, it gets more difficult. So as you can see, that sticks in there, and then this piece right here can just go right into the middle, so like that, and then right into there, and you can see you can do the same things as you would with the balls, just with the total gym instead.
For sale now at a store near you, BAPS board comes with 5 levels of ball mounts as well as weights and pegs. Available for $549.99 or $645.99 with wall rack.
So this is the Cufflink. It's pretty much just a big metal circle with a bar through the middle, and then it's got a rubberized tip here. This is really helpful for gripping the ground, so you can use it on all sorts of surfaces. But it's very similar to a BAPS board in that it's got a central point and then it pivots around it. But this one is used more for upper body. So it has 5 points here. So you have 2 sets of grips. So this one, so you have these ones that are just the handles, and these will get more shoulders as well as trunk. Or you could also use these, which when you put them in, will isolate more of your trunk than your shoulders. So the Cufflink is another one that can be used throughout the rehab process, from non-weight bearing to full weight bearing. It's unique in that it's as an upper body rehabilitation device, it actually uses a closed kinetic chain rather than an open kinetic chain. So that makes it unique. And so if you're using it like this, so say this is on the ground, you'd be laying down in a sort of plank formation, or plank position, there we go. And you'd have your elbows on the pads and then your arms here. That's going to get more just your core. You can do that as well as, so you have both those sets of handles, and then you can also there's the one in the center, so if you want to just work on one side, you can also just put that in the center, have one hand on the ground and then one on the device. So here we have the Cufflink, using it in a non-weight bearing position. So what you're going to do, you have it on a hard surface. Obviously we don't have that here, so we use the BAPS board to make a hard surface. So what you're going to do, so you'll have your hands on the handles, and pretty much the same kind of thing as the BAPS board. You can go front to back, yep, side to side, good. You can go in a circle, like that. Or as Bradley likes to say, you can drive the bus, so you can, there you go, get some range of motion like that as well. So you can do it like that, and then as you want to progress into bearing more weight, you can either put more weight on it as you do it like that, or you could come down to the ground here and go on your knees. Yep, and that way you can also control the amount of weight that you're putting on it. So, and then to go into a full weight bearing position, so you'll go back on your toes, and you can do the same thing. So front to back, side to side, round in a circle, either way, and then there you go. That's probably going to be more challenging. And another thing that would be challenging that you could do as well is push-ups with that, but that's not going to be until further into the process. So that's with these grips, and then if you wanted to isolate more of your core and take out more of your shoulders, you can change to these, and you can put them out wider, either core central like that, and then I'll show you right there. So it's going to be easier when you're in the middle, in the middle grips, and then more difficult as you go wider. So that's going to be more core. And then if you wanted to use it for one side, for one arm, say you would take either one of those or one of these and put it in the central hole there, and then you can control it. There you go. Yep. One arm on the ground, and then one arm is controlling the device.
We regret to inform you that Cufflink device was discontinued and is no longer available for purchase.